A very logical day to all of you. So, welcome to this discussion of the first editorial of April 6, 2023. Let's see what we have in store for us today. It is, yes, a little different topic. What we usually do is based on, say, politics or economics. Today, we have a little bit of education plus history. So, yes, you should be reading different genres. That is definitely going to help you. So, this is History's Edge. But yes, related to education. Here we go. So, in the academic year that has just commenced, in most parts of the country, secondary and senior secondary school students have been introduced to a revised set of social science textbooks. Curriculum reforms should be par for the course in history, sociology, and political science. They are necessary to update the student with shifts in the polity and society. मतलब ये तो होना चाहिए. This is to be done. These changes should reflect new thinking in the disciplines and also remove the past blind spots and blinkers. Blind spots and blinkers means on which we do not know much or which we do not know at all. So that should be removed. History textbooks have, for instance, been too big, empire centric. They don't have enough on the new historiography of different regions, the Northeast, for example, or on the archaeological finds that have changed the understandings of the Indus Valley civilization. Political science textbooks have yet to take proper note of the rise of, among other things, the new kinds of mobilizations being enabled and fostered by social media. काफी सारी चीजें नहीं है हिस्ट्री में या सोशल स्टडीज में दैट इज व्हाट द ऑथर इज सेइंग सो डेफिनेटली द चेंजेस हैव टू बी डन बट द लेटेस्ट रिविजन्स डू नॉट एड्रेस दीज गैप्स तो गैप्स तो है उसने यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल दिया और यहाँ पे उसने अपनी पॉइंट कही कि देखो चेंजेस तो होने चाहिए बिकॉज वट एवर इज गोइंग ऑन और वट एवर चेंजेस हैव बीन देयर in the history or in the understanding of the history, those new findings should be actually inculcated or included in the textbooks. That is something that should be going on. But then these revisions, these changes, whatever have happened now in this academic year, these latest revisions do not address such gaps and deficits. Instead, they excise content related to chapters in history that have acquired political overtones under the current regime, that is, the Delhi Sultanate and the Mughal Empire. You can understand this as a metaphor. Who is named as the Delhi Sultanate and who is named as the Mughal Empire? जो leading political parties हैं ये उसके हिसाब से चल रहा है. So I'm not mentioning the parties, you all can understand. Another set of changes pertains to key fraught moments in independent India's political history, Mahatma Gandhi's assassination, emergency, and the Gujarat 2002. Yet another set of deletions could come in the way of the student engaging with important questions of caste, class, and religion and their relationship to power. इसका मतलब है what is being given in the last part of this paragraph is that deletions have happened, but then this is only according to what the government doesn't want the people to read. Earlier also history was the same thing. It was only what the government at that time, the erstwhile government wanted the people to read or to keep in mind. वही होता है. अभी भी changes हो गए उनके हिसाब से. An investigation by this newspaper last year had revealed that the pruning exercise was conducted without adequate consultation with experts. Pruning means cutting. तो exercise हुआ था ना तो कई सारे parts, कई सारे chapters, history, civics, geography के हटा दिए थे, delete कर दिए. That is what, but this was done without consulting the experts. So this is in marked contrast to the wide-ranging conversations undertaken by the same government before framing the National Education Policy 2020. So that means when they formed the policy, they consulted all the experts, but not now when they were deleting the curriculum. The NCRT has justified the deletions as a part of its periodic rationalization endeavors to reduce the curriculum load on students. But making knowledge more attractive and accessible hinges on several pedagogic interventions. So if it is rationalization means logical endeavors कि हम logically जो जो चीज काम की है हम बच्चों को वही सिखाएंगे तो लोडेड नहीं होंगे, बर्डन नहीं होंगे. But then they need to understand it academically also, कि which of the subjects are necessary further or no, or whether they are not. But making knowledge more attractive and accessible. Accessible is reachable, right? You can reach that. Hinges means depend on, right? तो hinge is the fulcrum of the pivot. तो ये जो center होता है, उस पे वो hinged होते हैं ना, जैसे hinge joints होते हैं. On several pedagogic interventions, pedagogic is related to teaching. So, including the empowering the teacher, all this is also required, he says. So, the NEP2 underlines the importance of such an approach and lays store on developing the students' critical faculties. Developing the students' critical faculties, or faculties would mean here the logic, the reasoning that is required, the mental abilities that the student requires, that is to be developed. The social scientist should be a key facilitator in this process by introducing the student to the complexities of social and political structures with all their diversities, cleavages and inequities. तो जो inequalities हैं, जो diversities हैं, कितना vast है, और जो cleavages है, मतलब जो gaps हैं इन लोगों के बीच में या इन groups के बीच में, इस strata के बीच में, all this should be revealed properly in the history or the civics or whatever social studies subject you have. So the complexities of the social and political structure should be given there. But then this hasn't always happened in India. Even earlier textbook development committees have been fettered by the government control over curricula. Fettered is shackled, right? Bonded. ठीक है, तो वो फेटर्ड का मतलब होता है जैसे चेंड, उन्हें बांध के रखा गया है, उसे चेंड या शैकल्ड बोलते हैं. और किसने बांध के रखा है? डेवलपिंग टेक्स्ट बुक डेवलपिंग कमिटीज को किसने बांध के रखा है? गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल ने, कि गवर्नमेंट के हिसाब से होगा कि कौन कौन सी चीजें, कौन कौन सी बातें स्टूडेंट्स को बताई जाए और कौन सी नहीं. So the recent revisions, however, invite the charge that not only does the government wish to escape unpalatable facts, unpalatable is something that cannot be digested. So this is a word that I've recently done in one or two of the classes. So those who are listening to this will remember or check your notebooks कि ये वाला word हम कुछ recent दिनों में, 2-4 दिनों में ही किया हुआ है. So they wish to escape unpalatable facts, but it also wants to ensure that the students do not engage with social and political realities with a critical attitude. That means they should understand it very objectively what is going on, not coming up with a critical analysis of the same. So the Gujarat riots related erasures betray an anxiety to paper over the fault lines and institutional failures that continue to inflict pain and injustice on minorities. This, according to the author, it says that erasures यानी to wipe out, erase हमने अभी भी वर्ड किया ये erase, right? What does it betray? Betray means वो साबित कर लेती है. Betray यानी betray actually मतलब धोखा देना होता है, लेकिन erasures तो हैं. So what is it indicating now? So it gives away an anxiety. Anxiety means like apprehension. That's anxious होना. Anxiety वरी होता है, वरी प्लस क्यूरोसिटी होता है. तो वरी किस चीज का? टू पेपर ओवर. सो दे आर वरीड टू कवर अप. पेपर ओवर यानी ऊपर से, तो ऊपर से पेपर लगा देंगे, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? आप उसको कवर करना चाहते हो, लेकिन किन चीजों को कवर करना चाहते हो? इंस्टीट्यूशनल फेलियर्स को. एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज इन्फ्लिक्टिंग पेन एंड इनजस्टिस टू द minorities. So the removal of sentences on communalism and the RSS in the passage on Gandhi's assassination indicates discomfiture with a turning point that continues to resonate in the India story. The deletion of the section on protest movements cuts, stops in crucial ways, important ways, the students' view and imagination of citizenship in an argumentative democracy. Yesterday we had done electoral democracy, liberal democracy. Today, write down the word argumentative democracy, so you have to read about it. If you remember in yesterday or day before yesterday's article, I had given you a set of words. I think so, it was day before yesterday. ठीक है, जहां पे मैंने कहा था कि तुम्हें पढ़ना है इसके बारे में, एंड आई होप यू आर फॉलोइंग दिस, बिकॉज ट्रस्ट मी दिस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू. सो रीड मोर अबाउट आर्गुमेंटेटिव डेमोक्रेसी ऑल्सो, उसे भी नोट कर दो. So the NEP had taken an ideologically agnostic route to educational reform. Their visions in the social science textbooks do a disservice to the process it initiated and threaten to undo one of the most progressive aspects of its approach. The last two sentences are actually giving you the point of the passage, that see the NEP of the changes in the NEP were brought about by or after consultation with the experts. But then the deletion of a few topics, a few chapters from the textbooks of the NCERT were without the consultation of the experts, right? So then this is actually what you can say, an inconsistency followed by the government. So according to the author, he says that NEP had taken past में हो गया in an ideologically agnostic route to educational reform. Ideologically agnostic का मतलब हो गया कि अगर ideally हम समझे या एक thought process जो होता है, लोगों का डाउट था इस एजुकेशन पॉलिसी पर, राइट? लेकिन लीक से हटके गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ सोचा, कंसल्ट किया लोगों को, एंड देन इट केम अप विद दैट एनईपी. बट their visions, whatever they had thought in the social science textbooks, do a disservice to the process it initiated, right? So whatever they had thought that we are going to bring about something positive by the change in the education policy, that has become a disservice when they are deleting these chapters from the books, and they threaten to undo one of the most progressive aspects of its approach. तो जो प्रोग्रेसिव था, जिसपे लोगों ने डाउट किया था पर फिर भी गवर्नमेंट ने की, ठीक है, अब उसी प्रोसेस के हिसाब से उन्हें चेंजेस लाने चाहिए थे, लेकिन वो नहीं हुआ है. सो इट इज गोइंग टू undo the most progressive aspects of the approach, right? So I hope you have noted down the words simultaneously. Let's see the main. What has been deleted in textbooks and opaque way in which it was done go against the spirit and the promise of NEP. So, pehle NEP, as we just discussed, that according to the uh, experts who were consulted, all the changes in the NEP happened. It promised something good, something enhanced, something better than the previous one. But this deletion of the chapters from the textbooks and without consultation with the experts, तो ये opaque हो गया. अगर experts से consultation करते तो transparent हो जाता process. नहीं हुआ है, इसका मतलब opaque है. So transparency कहाँ पे थी education policy बनाने में? Opaqueness कहाँ पे आई? It came when these chapters were deleted. So nobody knew, nobody was consulted in that manner. Okay? So this is the author's point, that it goes against the spirit and promise of NEP. Let's go through the words now. So opaque is something that is impervious, so it doesn't let the light through. ठीक है, ये नहीं होगा, क्रॉसिंग नहीं होगा लाइट का, तो वो impervious रॉक्स भी हो सकते हैं. So solid, dense, impervious. Blind spots and blinkers are something that cannot be seen, or it doesn't allow to understand something. It doesn't give us any light on that particular era or period. अगर हम इसे हिस्ट्री के साथ रिलेट करते हैं तो fostered, nurtured, taken care of, easy word है. Fraught is tensed or troubled, है ना, anxious के साथ. Pruning is cutting, cropping, cutting and trimming. ठीक है, तो prune को मतलब you would prune, to cut away something will be to prune. Rationalization you can understand using logic. Accessibility is reachable. You have the word access. Hinges you can understand is pivot or the axis. Pedagogic is teaching, informational and instructional. Faculties means the talent, the aptitude or the capacity, the mental abilities you can write. Okay, mental abilities of a person. उसे मेंटल फैकल्टीज बोलते हैं। इंटरवेंशंस मतलब इंटरफेरेंस, इंटरपोलेशन लिख सकते हो, तुम्हें इंटरवीन और इंटरफियर का मीनिंग आता है, अब इंटरपोलेशन लिख लो। फेटर्ड इज बाउंड, रिस्ट्रिक्टेड, कन्फाइंड, एक और वर्ड लिख सकते हो शैकल्ड। अनपलेटेबल इज समथिंग दैट इज इनएडिबल, हमने ये क्या था इफ यू रिमेंबर, unpalatable is something that is not fit to be kept on a plate, that means it is not fit to be eaten, so it is unpalatable. Indigestible and revolting, ना you feel repulsion there, तो unpalatable जो खाने योग्य नहीं हो। Erasures we can understand, removals, deletions, expurgation. Expurge means to purify. To paper over is to conceal. Discomfiture is uneasiness, awkwardness. Resonate में सोन वर्ड आ जाता है, सोन यानी साउंड होता है, ठीक है, सो इट एकोज और वाइब्रेट्स और उसे कहते हैं रिवर्बरेट। कर्टेल इज टू कट, इजी वर्ड है, फिर तुम कर्ब, इनहिबिट और रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर सकते हो, क्योंकि जो भी चीज कट होती है, अगर अभी मैंने ये बनाया था, इसको यहां तक हमने कट कर लिया, ठीक है, इसका मतलब यहां तक रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो गया। क्रूशियल, वाइटल, की, सेंट्रल, ये आता है। आइडियोलॉजिकली एग्नोस्टिक, डाउटिंग, ड्यूबियस, skeptical एंड unsure. You have the simplest word unsure. When you are agnostic, you are doubting. तो unsure और doubting आ जाते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए better word है dubious, that is doubtful, doubting and skeptical, right? Agnostic, skeptical, आसानी से विश्वास नहीं होता है किसी पर। So that's all for today, and thank you. And I hope you have started listening to those explanations of the that you have missed of the previous month, right? So thank you and have a logical day ahead.